You guys, we need to talk about Austin McBroom, because what he just posted is absolutely unhinged. I'm talking fake repossessions, staged arrests, and him literally breaking into his ex-wife's house on camera. And the wildest part? He's crying about Catherine while completely ignoring that he just broke up with Alexa. Like, make it make sense. This whole thing is giving desperate, it's giving embarrassing, and honestly, it's giving narcissist. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into Austin's so-called crash out era part 2. And trust me, it's a lot. So if you've been following Austin McBroom at all recently, you know that he posted this super long dramatic trailer on TikTok. And in this trailer, he's literally sitting with a therapist, crying his eyes out about how he lost his wife, lost his girlfriend, lost everything. The whole thing felt very calculated, very staged, like he was trying to do what Kai Cenat does with those elaborate stream announcements. You know how Kai does those massive trailers when he's promoting a mafiathon? It felt like Austin was copying that energy, but instead of a fun stream event, he was promoting his own mental breakdown. Which is weird, right? I genuinely thought he was going to go live and just talk about Catherine for hours, maybe cry on camera, fake some drama for views. That's kind of been his thing lately. But I did not expect him to go back to Snapchat of all places. Because here's the thing, Austin has been really into streaming lately. When he was dating Alexa, they were both streaming constantly. Even right after he and Catherine announced their breakup, he was doing this whole RV tour thing on Snapchat with his friend Landon. They even had a podcast for a minute where they talked about how much money they were making from Snapchat content. But then the streaming wave hit and Austin pivoted to that because, it's where the money is right now. But apparently he's decided to return to his Snapchat roots for this crash out era. And let me tell you, it's just as chaotic and performative as you'd expect. So the first part of this whole Snapchat series shows Austin getting his cars repossessed. And I mean, he is going full method actor here. There are tow trucks outside his house. There's a guy with papers saying Austin is $120,000 in debt, and Austin is just losing it. He's screaming, he's crying, he's begging them not to take his Lamborghini because it's the only thing I have left. The repo guy is standing there trying to be professional, and Austin's like, "You're not even a real tow guy. Where's your badge?" And the guy literally shows him the badge and tells him to call the office if he needs to verify. It's so clearly staged, but Austin is selling it like his life depends on it. He's got the shaky camera work, the dramatic music, the works. And then because apparently losing your cars isn't enough content, Austin starts talking about getting evicted too. He's putting on costumes, running around the house, just absolutely spiraling. At one point, he says he's going to call his therapist, the same woman from the trailer video. And sure enough, she shows up at his house and they get in her car. So Austin and this therapist are driving around, and she's trying to give him this whole pep talk about how he needs to get his life together. She's talking about how he's lost his wife, his house, his car, everything. And Austin is just sitting there in the passenger seat, full-on sobbing. He's talking about his 3 kids, his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, and how everything is slowly being taken away from him. Here's what's interesting though. Throughout all of this, they keep mentioning Catherine. Like, yes, they briefly acknowledge that he dated Alexa and that they broke up, but the main focus of Austin's breakdown is always about Catherine. He's not crying over Alexa. He's not making content about missing Alexa. It's all about Catherine, which has got to hurt for Alexa to watch, right? Like, imagine your ex-boyfriend making these elaborate videos about how destroyed he is over losing his ex-wife, barely even mentioning you. That's probably why they broke up in the first place, if we're being honest. But anyway, the therapist is trying to calm Austin down, telling him that things will get better, that he hasn't lost everything, and Austin's just not having it. He's in full victim mode, talking about how unfair life is. And then the storyline takes an even weirder turn. So later in the video series, the therapist actually drives Austin and his friends to Catherine's house, and I really, really hope this isn't her actual house, because if it is, why is Austin filming outside of it and exposing her street and location? That's so irresponsible and honestly kind of scary. But according to Austin's storyline, he's going to this house because Catherine has something that she doesn't need anymore. He says she has a new one, so she doesn't need the old one, and he wants to steal it back so he can sell it and pay his bills. And it's super obvious that he's talking about the engagement ring, the ring he gave her when they were together. So Austin and his friends literally break into the house and he steals the ring back. His friend ends up getting arrested, there's this whole chase scene, and eventually Austin gets arrested too. It's so dramatic and over the top, like a bad action movie. But in the end, Austin's secured the bag, meaning he got the ring. Now, if you've been following Austin for a while, this whole ring storyline might sound familiar. Because when Austin and Catherine first announced that they were separating, Austin made a huge deal about getting the ring back then too. He was posting about how he finally got it back and how he was going to be able to pay all his bills with it. So this isn't even new content, it's literally just him recycling the same storyline all over again. And that's what makes this whole thing so bizarre to me. Like, why are we doing this again? I thought he was going to crash out on stream, do something new and different, but instead he's back on Snapchat, doing the same fake dramatic scenarios he's been doing for years. It's like he can't think of any new content ideas, so he's just reusing old ones and hoping people will care. The thing is, I don't think his kids are going to look back on this fondly. Like, imagine being Steele, Elle, or Alea and having to watch your dad fake cry on the internet about your mom moving on with her life. Their friends probably see these videos. How embarrassing is that? And for what? Views? Ad revenue? It just seems so irresponsible and immature. I keep coming back to this question. Why is Austin making all this content about Catherine and not Alexa? He literally just broke up with Alexa. That's the recent breakup. That's the fresh wound. So why is he crying over Catherine, who he's been separated from for a while now? And I think I've figured it out. Catherine understands the game. She was part of the Ace family for years. She made all those crazy dramatic videos with Austin. She knows how the clout chasing works, how the algorithm works, how to play up drama for views. So even if Austin makes these insane videos about her, she's probably not going to say anything publicly because she gets it. She knows it's all for content. But Alexa? Alexa would probably be like, "This weirdo is making fake crying videos about me on the internet. I want nothing to do with him." She wouldn't play along with it. So Austin keeps circling back to Catherine because he knows she won't call him out for it. She won't expose that it's all fake. And that's really the key to understanding why Austin does what he does. He needs someone who will let him use their relationship for content. And Catherine, whether she likes it or not, has become that person. Unsurprisingly, people are not impressed with Austin's crash out era. The comments on re-uploads of these Snapchat videos are absolutely dragging him. People are saying things like, he should have had Catherine's book in his hand, which is a reference to Catherine's tell-all book about their relationship. Others are saying, "Nurse, he's out again," and he's actually completely lost the plot and gone crazy. One comment that really stood out to me said, "Where's the emotional intelligence? Catherine, you made the right move, girl." And honestly, that sums it up perfectly. There's no emotional maturity here. Everything is a stage, everything is an opportunity for drama and content. Someone else commented, "If I was Catherine, I'd be so embarrassed." The fact that he went back to acting like this after Alexa left, and people are bringing up valid points about the kids too. Multiple comments said, "Imagine the kids watching this, and this isn't even funny anymore." Because at the end of the day, Steele, Elle, and Alea have to grow up knowing that their dad made a whole internet career out of faking mental breakdowns over their mom. That's going to affect them. There were also comments calling Austin the best example of a divorced narcissistic man, and saying Alexa was right to dip. People are seeing through the act, and they're tired of it. Here's the thing about Austin McBroom. People genuinely want him to crash out. They want him to face the consequences of his actions over all these years. The financial issues, the scandals, the way he treated people, all of it. But they want it to be real. They want him to actually address things, take accountability, show some growth. What they don't want is this fake, performative, character-driven nonsense. Because that's not accountability. That's not growth. That's just Austin doing what he's always done, which is turn everything into content without actually dealing with the underlying issues. I don't think Austin is capable of having a serious, genuine conversation about his life and his mistakes. I think the only way he knows how to address drama is through these silly, goofy characters. And that's really sad because it means he's never going to actually grow or change. He's just going to keep making the same mistakes and then turning them into content. And where does this storyline even go from here? Is he going to keep posting Snapchats where he's crying about Catherine? Is he going to stage more break-ins and arrests? What's the end game? Because eventually people are going to get bored. They're already getting bored. The views aren't what they used to be, and the comments are mostly negative. So that's the tea on Austin McBroom's latest crash out era. Honestly, I don't know what he's thinking with all of this. It's giving desperate, it's giving embarrassing, and it's definitely giving narcissist. Catherine really dodged a bullet by leaving him, and honestly, good for Alexa for getting out when she did. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Is Austin's crash out era entertaining, or is it just sad and embarrassing at this point? Do you think he'll ever actually take accountability for anything, or is he going to keep hiding behind these fake characters forever? And what do you think Catherine thinks about all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and send this to a friend who's been following the Austin McBroom drama. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!